Peace, everybody. My name is Elome, and you are watching the Roselyn Omaka Show.
Welcome, Elomé Apananite, to the Roselyn Omaka Show, and I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here, Roselyn. Thank you for having me.
And I want to say you look stunning in this gorgeous dress. I had to come through for you. Just, a little extra.
You look really good, too. I love that color on you.
Man, listen, I should have came with my Niger, outfit.
Yeah.
And can you talk to everyone and tell them a little bit more about your name and the meaning, because it's so beautiful.
Absolutely. So my name is originally, well, here's a story. I come from a lineage of kings and queens, of emperors and empresses. And my bloodline actually traces back to the last king of Benin. And he had a bunch of sons. And one of those sons was supposed to be the guard dog. So that's what they named him, the guard dog of the house. And he would go to war, come back with a bunch of food and a bunch of resources for the people. And one day he went to war and he never came back. And his sons were looking for him. And things weren't going as well because he wasn't there to really protect and take care. So everybody went out to look for him. And he would go to the mountain and stay up there so he can see what's going on if there's intruders that would come. So he always spend most of his time up there if he's not going out to hunt. So when he went out to hunt and they couldn't find him, they were looking for him because he was supposed to be the next in line, and his brothers, they could have taken the crown because he wasn't there to get crowned. But they didn't want to because they knew his worth, his value. They knew that he was the right one to protect the whole kingdom. So they all went out to look for him, and they finally found him, and they brought him back, and then he got crowned. And when he got crowned, they gave him a new name, and that new name was Akpagnonite. And Akpagnonite means basically on a tree of dates, the best one on the tree. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And I love hearing about family stories and history because a lot of the times those stories are hidden. And we'll talk about the pageant and I know even hearing your story, can you tell everyone the countries where your family is from, both sides? Because you explained something in your speech when you were speaking to everyone about the two different worlds and how you're bringing two different worlds together.
First and foremost, I would love to thank every soul here. Thank you for coming. Thank you, sponsors. Thank you, Kim and Oscar, for making this opportunity special and make it happen again another time, 2026. My name is Elome, and I am a bridge. I'm a bridge between two different worlds, one in the north and one in the center of our planet. And with this platform, I will continue to work with my people and with my entrepreneurs to build that bridge to connect all of us. Because we're in a time, we're in a new age where nothing else matters than our soul and our purpose in this world. We need to uplift everybody. We need to love everybody. And I do that through creativity. I'm a model and I'm an actress, and I'm very proud of it. So with this platform, I will create this world and uplift humanity. Thank you.
Can you elaborate more on that, what you mean?
So my family, from my mother's side, is from Togo, Anejo, and then my family on my dad's side is from Benin. And so those are my heritage. I didn't have the chance to grow up in Togo but I was born there. My parents wanted a better life for my siblings and I, so we left when I was about 6 years old and we moved to North America. And I spent my whole life in North America. I grew up there. I was raised there. Went to school over there, graduated university from there, and then After all of that, I went back home to visit, and that was the first time I ever visited in 18 years. And I just seen everything. I saw everything, the beautiful, the sad, and it shook me. It woke something inside of me because my whole life I've been so protected and sheltered, and I've had so many opportunities, and everything that I did, I was safe doing it, but it was the complete opposite for most of the people that I met back home. And that's because they have lack of opportunity, sometimes lack of food, lack of education. And it just made me really think, what can I do to help that? What can I do to help these people also gain education and have resources? The fact that I was lucky enough to grow up in North America, and I have resources over there, well, it's only right for me to merge the two worlds and build that bridge that I was talking about so we can transport and export these resources and educations back to them so we can help them live a better life.
That's beautiful. Definitely what you say is relatable to a lot of first generation, you know, and first generation children. And so, like, I relate to your story in a bit. I think that's amazing. And when you think about the resources, I love what you're saying with the food and with the education, things that you want to bring more awareness to.
Yeah.
What's the way that you want to help your community? Because now this pageant, as we know, this is just the beginning. There's so much more in store. Is there anything specific of how you want to honor your community?
Well, I know for sure that I want to continue in this path of, being an artist as far as a model and an actress. And through that, I do want to represent and storytell things that are going on in our countries, and not just my country, but in many countries in Africa. I want to represent it through my art and raise awareness by collaborating with different videographers, photographers, production teams, so we can come up with a beautiful story, a beautiful short film, and continue doing that. And in those short films, basically show what is going on and show it to the world so people can understand better the things that have been hidden, or they just don't have access to and they don't know about. I feel like right now that's the best way for me to raise awareness, and I will continue to research and figure out other ways that I could help or other ideas that I can come up with that can help during this process.
Man, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of cool ideas. I'm already brainstorming as you're
I think
talking.
you know a lot of things.
I'm just like, my brain is spinning as you're talking. I'm like, oh, films, creativity. And then I even saw something yesterday. It was on Instagram, and I saw how this one artist, the way that he was making impact, he had an idea. Well, he recorded a video, and it was a little boy peeking over a fence. And it's like, what are you looking at? Are you okay? And this little boy wanted to go to school. However, his mom didn't have money to take him to school. And so he showed the proof and everything to the people on Facebook that everyone said, if I send the money to the school directly, making sure I'm not getting scammed, you Nigerians. And so, yeah, he showed a follow-up video, and that little boy, he heard those kids playing and they were singing in the school, he was able to go. And so that's why I was like, man, that artist, he was able to put his platform up. And I even think of you doing things like that with other nonprofits.
That's so beautiful. That's exactly, what I envision.
I see you, girl. I definitely see it. And I wanted to also say as well, what was the preparation? I need to know, because that seemed like a lot of prep that went into it.
For the pageant, right?
Yes. It's a lot. And then literally being on a bikini and a swimsuit on stage in front of all of these strangers and all the photographers. And then you have to give a speech. And then it's like trying not to trip. I'm just thinking, like, what would I do in that situation?
Yeah. It was definitely a lot, and we only had 3 days to prepare. The minute that we got to the hotel, it was already on go. They wanted us to introduce ourselves. they wanted us to start practicing the dance, the dance in the beginning. Like, we had the choreographer, Johnny, who came, and he was like, listen, ladies, y'all know you got a show in 3 days, so y'all better get serious. Who wants this crowd? Formation.
Oh, wait, he was like a drill sergeant? Like,
yeah.
Oh my goodness. So how did you keep up with the other girls?
Well, I naturally just picked up on the steps. We practiced it multiple times. He made us redo it. He was forcing us to ask questions because he's like, if y'all don't ask me questions, I don't know what you guys don't get, and I can't show you, and then you're going to look bad during the show. So we all started speaking up, like, how did you do this? Can we redo this part?
Okay,
and he was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And just like that, we just kept practicing and practicing. And he's like, okay, good. Like, after 2 hours of practice, he said that y'all should practice tonight. And then tomorrow, when we come back, I'm going to see who actually practiced and who's actually ready for this. And that's how I'm going to choose who's going to be in the front and who's going to be in the back. That was that part. After that, we had to go upstairs and change. We had 10 minutes to change, get to the bus, go to McKean, the restaurant, because they were one of our sponsors. So we had to go over there. As soon as we got there, they're like, okay, challenge time. Y'all have to go in the back, pick out an outfit, pick a number, the number that's corresponding to the outfit, put it on, and then come out, and you guys are doing a photo shoot.
Is this like top model?
Like, I didn't even know.
This seems like a top model competition. Okay, keep going. I love it.
So everybody went in the back. We're like, oh my God, this, what, that. Everybody's putting on the dress. Can you help me? Can you pin me? Like, it was just crazy. And the space that we had was so small and cramped. But we still did it. And then, like, we all got out. We were all in line. Everybody out went one by one. We just had to go and pose, take videos, pictures, and then after walk back out and change. And then I was always like one of the last because of the lineup of Texas and like how they put it together. So I was before last, and then another girl was last. So every single time I would always be the one like, getting dressed last. And then when we finished, me and the 3 last girls, we finished getting dressed and came out. The other girls were already like eating. And so we went up to get our food, got the food. And as soon as I had my food in my plate, they're like, okay, ladies, we're leaving in 3 minutes. We got to go we got to go see the other sponsors. And we're like, wait, what? We didn't even get to eat. It's like 3 minutes. So we run to our table, and then like we're trying to like stuff our face because we hadn't eaten all day. And as we're eating, they're like, all right, let's go. Come on, we got to go. You have to take a video before you get out. Everybody get up, get up, get up, get up. We barely ate. The girl next to me was so mad.
You were stunning, but I felt like the 2 times you walked towards the end, your time was cut. You didn't. They were already calling the other person.
Yeah, I noticed that too for the swimsuit one.
No, it was more than once. Like we noticed it more than once.
Really?
So I was wondering, because now you're saying this to me, that's why my face is looking like this, because it was on stage, and that's why I'm wondering.
Well, yes, because I was always the last or before last. So everything that we did, I would always have to rush to be ready for the next thing because it was a lot of changing.
But that was an observation that I just noticed, and I'm like, give Elome her whole time. So it seems like a whole top model situation. Is that how they judge the girls?
Yeah,
the winner?
Yeah, basically they for everything that we do, they put points. So the former Miss Grand Texas, she was always like, you're being watched. The judges are watching everything, so everything that you're doing, you're getting points based upon how you do it. Like,
do you know what they grade on?
If they give you a time to be downstairs and ready and you don't come on time, like, you lose points. Through your attitude, even though like they had us up at 1 a.m. still doing stuff and want us up at 6 a.m., you still had to have like a good attitude, right? Social media, you had to constantly be posting, tagging your videos, your reels. It was mandatory.
So it's definitely a lot of criteria. It is not just what you see, obviously, on stage.
No, it was a lot that was put into it. And it was their schedule was so tight that we didn't have a chance to do anything. We couldn't even leave the hotel. We just had to be focused on the pageant. And we barely ate too.
Wow. I have a question. So like for any young woman or young at heart that's listening to you watching this, do you have any advice for a young woman that's wanting to get into the pageant world, how she has to prepare mentally, physically, spiritually for all of this?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say if you want to do a pageant, you should really look into what pageantry is and what the expectations are, because it's not based upon how pretty you are or how good you think that you are. It's really based upon what they want you to do. And if you don't fit in their box, then you will not get picked. So if you're the type of person that's more of like rebellious and you want to do your own thing, maybe you should just model. But if you're good at following instructions and, punctual, then pageantry is would be good for you. And as far as preparations, just be ready. Have a strong mindset, you know. Know that you will be in heels the entire time. So if your feet hurt, pack some baby oil, some tape for your feet.
Numbing spray.
Yeah, and some numbing spray. Also, if you're if you're somebody that eats a lot during the day, try to cut back on that because you will get frustrated when you don't have time to eat throughout the pageant because there's not much time for that. Yeah, if just have the mindset of a winner, honestly, of a winner, somebody that's able to get through anything, have strength within yourself, have trust within yourself, and show up with your confidence because they're looking for all of that.
That's amazing. And let me just think, because we answered some questions, and I know you told me that you were interested in film. Is there anything in particular, like with you acting, have you also ever thought about directing?
I have not.
Just wondering. Just wondering.
I'm not, but I'm open to it. I'm definitely open to it.
Yes. So, Elome, can you please tell me what all of this work that you did with the pageant, what made you feel confident to be in the headspace where it's like, you know what, I'm going to do this pageant?
Well, I would say that right now I am working on, being more confident, being more present, being more talkative, working on my throat chakra, communication, and also just being comfortable being seen. So I went, I decided to do this pageant because I wanted to challenge myself to put myself in that spotlight and not be afraid to be seen by people. I wanted to put myself in the pageant so that I could be able to talk to people easily, because I know that they were going to put us with a group of girls and we would
Yeah.
have to like make friends and bond, which we did, and it was amazing. So I knew that I would get that out of it as well. But yeah, overall, it was just to continue to push myself to do things outside of my comfort zone and to just feel comfortable being seen.
I love that. And what were the worst parts of the pageant and what were the best parts? Girl, what you want to start with? The worst or the best? We'll start with the worst.
Okay, we'll start with the worst. All right, so now, no shade, but I don't know why they did this, but the night before the pageant, when we finished rehearsing, and the rehearsal was great, like they really taught us how to properly walk and the perfect steps to use. Like I thought it was very, very helpful. It helped me during my walk during the final. But after that, it was about 12 at night, and they told everybody to go up to their rooms and they can't get out, but don't go to sleep because we're gonna call you for something. So we're like, okay.
It's 12 o'clock. Oh, I will fall
It's
asleep.
yeah, it's already midnight. We all go up to our rooms and we're waiting. I remember us waiting for about 35 minutes, and I had a roommate, right? Everybody has a roommate. Some people requested not to have one, but I had a roommate, and there was also two other girls that weren't staying at the hotel.
Mhm.
So we became friends. So they were always staying with us in our room. That way they don't have to like go back home and change and stuff like
Yeah.
that. We just go up upstairs and change all together. So they had their stuff in the room and everything. And we were just in the room, hanging out, just waiting and like trying to figure out why did they, like what do they want? What are they trying to do this time? Is this a game? Just trying to figure it out. And then we heard a knock at the door, and we're like, who could that be? We go to the door and open the door, and it's the freaking camera crew with mics and everything. And one of the interviewers are like, "Hey, surprise! We're here to rate your room." Yeah.
At midnight?
Yes.
Actually, 11:30, 12:35 a.m.
They walked in the room with the camera started recording everything in the room, in the space.
Did they tell y'all they were gonna like warn y'all that they were raiding the room?
Nothing.
What are they raiding? It's a hotel room.
They're trying to see how clean we are or how organized that we are. So they recorded everything, and then like the guy with the mic was like, "So, how much would you give this room?" He gives it to the girl. The girl's like, "I think I'll give it a 5.5." And how much would you rate it? He was like, 3.9. And we're like, okay, first of all, we did not have time to like, organize our stuff. We always do it before we go to sleep, but not during the day because it's too much going on. Plus, half of these things is not even ours. It's for the other girls because we're letting them stay with us.
This is top model.
Like, for real. Yeah. When they left, the girls were not happy.
I was gonna ask, what were the girls saying? Like, what were they feeling? What were they saying?
Two of them just went to the bathroom, closed the door. I was out with another one, and they were just like, talking to us and like trying to give us like little interview questions and asking us if we're ready for tomorrow and stuff like that. And yeah, that was it. And then they left.
That's insane. I'm curious. That was worse. Is there another worse part? I am just so curious. Like, this is stuff that sounds like a TV reality show.
Yeah, I think like they did it for the content and also just, for the point things. Like,
I'm learning.
The next Miss Grand Texas, like, how organized and clean is she, type thing. So.
Okay, well, what were the best parts? What did you love? Because I know I would probably not be, they would probably kick me out of the pageant. what y'all, that would be y'all too. So what were the highlights, your favorite parts of it?
My favorite part was the bonding with the girls. Definitely, because they all came with, good intentions and a genuine heart. And also, they all came with an open heart and open mind to friendships and anything that could happen between us. And we really held each other. We never left anybody else out. We were always talking to each other and checking in, helping each other with our dresses, with our content, especially. It was very special. And I really am grateful for these girls. We're still talking to this day in the group chat, just
nice, all of the girls.
Yeah, all of us.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Because normally you hear like they make drama where it's like, oh, she's the winner or whatnot. So it was really great.
It was really great. It's opposite of that. Yeah, we're talking and sending each other invitations to other things that we can do together. Some of them do live far, like Austin and stuff, but they're always happy to like travel down if we're doing like a group thing together. So yeah, I'm really grateful for that.
That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. And would you want to do a pageant again after this experience? I'm just curious.
I would do a pageant again, but I would do a different pageant. So I need somebody, and if not somebody, then I will put a pageant together where it represents more our people, because I always see pageants, I guess, kind of dedicated to one specific race. It's mostly that race in the pageant, and then you see like just one of us or two of us, and like I feel like it would be a different experience if it was just all of us.
Did you learn any tips or tricks that you also can share, like from them that helped you, or even with the choreographer?
A lot of them were teaching us to just be real, and be honest and be on time, which I really valued. They were teaching us to stay confident, and they were telling us that we were all winners, and we are all a team, which I agree with. Closer to the finals, there was a lot of like tensions. I could see the girls being just a little bit more anxious about what's to come.
Yeah.
But they came and gave us a speech and, poured into us. And after that, we really did continue to be that team.
You wore the beautiful dress designed by Danny Wynn.
Yeah.
And how did it make you feel, like walking down where everyone could see you in that beautiful dress?
I felt like I was in a movie. And like I wanted to go all out and do more.
Yeah.
But the judges also gave us a tip to not do that and keep it like, graceful. So I did do a little bit of hand movement. I would have
I love it, girl, because whenever you walk through, I'm telling you, like the crowd, everybody in the crowd, yeah, they were looking at the girls, they were pretty, and they were like applauding. But when you walk through, it was just like an African goddess. I'm like, yes, stunning. So I just want to say you killed it. And Why did you even select Danny? I mean, I know why, because he's amazing, but why did you select Danny Wynn out of all of the plenty designers that were out there?
Well, for my short time being here in Houston and being a part of Houston Fashion Week, I really did resonate a lot with his work. I had the privilege to see it, in person when I was at his fashion show, the Grid Show, and I also walked in the show. And then I got to meet Danny, and Danny is really cool. He's very serious about his work. You could tell that he has the mind of an artist. He's always thinking about new things and like bringing new fabrics. And even when he curates a photo shoot, it's a whole movie set. Like every little detail matters. And I really respect his work. So it was an honor for him to put me in one of his dresses. It really did make me feel very special, and very beautiful. And I appreciated Danny for that.
Beautiful. That was a really special moment of like being with you two as you're getting fitted, selecting the dresses. Wonderful. And I wanted to say for anyone in the film world, because you did mention, with those projects, and I'm thinking about the future and the things that you're speaking of, mm, how can people stay in contact with you? And what's the best way? And anybody that's reaching out to you, what sort of projects in particular are you wanting that make the most sense for you?
The best way to reach out to me is through my website. I have the link in my website in my Instagram. You could also DM me or send me an email. That's also on my Instagram. And and the type of work that I'm leaning towards more is really the kind that represents, African excellence, those type of work, and that there's plenty of that, so I'm not even going to specify. But as long as you're representing our people in an excellent way, I would love to be a part.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Elome, amazing. And guys, make sure you keep up with Elome because we are going to make sure that we're constantly like updating you with what she has going on. Because I know that even with Belonle, there are other projects that we definitely would love for you to be a part of.